gonna take you home?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. Nice. All right. There you go.
I was down, you were there, lifting my body up to ground, showing me no fear. You were down, I was there, telling you that you're beautiful, baby, I compare. Only you, only you, only you. Yes, yes, only you, only you.
No. Wait. No, stop it.
Good evening, guys. Why are you cheesing like that? Anyway, it's you know who it is. Who is it, son?
You gotta say it. Then I go. Yeah,
It's Kia and Frank here.
Hey.
Anyway, so
I don't got the do rag today. Hold on. I don't got the do rag.
Oh my
Boy, look.
God, here we go. Yeah. Anyway, it's not about his
Almost
hair.
there.
Who
Almost
gives a
there.
crap? Anyway, whatever. So as you guys know, we're going to try to get into the habit of letting you guys know that we are not professionals. We do not have license or degrees in counseling, therapy, or anything of that nature. We are just merely speaking out of our own personal experience and life obstacles that we have faced, will face, and continue
And
to
still
face.
facing.
And we're just going to continue to share. Again, we look back for feedback from you guys, comments, tips, whatever, just as much as we're going to give comments, tips, feedbacks as well.
All right.
Today's topic is going to be based on, do you guys have that talk? Have you had the talk? Are you afraid to have that talk? If it was time to have that talk, how would you approach it? And when I mean that talk, are you guys having that talk with your children?
Yeah.
When it comes to puberty, peer pressure, sex, lifestyle, as far as learning different skills or being manipulated, whether it's from family, friends, or strangers, like just everything in general in life as adults that we have faced and went through. Are you sharing those experiences and opinions and thoughts with your children? And it doesn't matter whether it's a female or male. Are you sharing that experience with your children? And are you afraid to? Is there a reason why? I mean, I know there are some people who didn't have parents or a role model to have that type of discussion with them, or, you know, teach them certain things. So we tend to continue that habit. We continue that cycle. And then when it's time that we have our children, we don't speak, we don't tell, we don't communicate, we don't discuss these things. Especially the main thing that I have learned is nobody has the puberty and the sex talk with their kids. That is one thing. And sometimes it seems like as if the parents are afraid. And I say afraid because you don't know how, or you never had it done for you.
Well, speak on my behalf. I had it done, but not into depth. But as of right now, doing it with our children now, I was kind of scared. I am not gonna lie. I'm still scared. I'm still nervous.
But he opens up. I can say that. He opens up.
I was telling him, like, the stork and the elephant
No, he doesn't.
and stuff
No,
like
he
that
doesn't.
comes along and like, oh, you know? No, but yeah, I was scared. So she does a lot of it with the girls, but
I
carry
mean,
on.
as a female, I guess I have no choice. But
Because yeah, we just have female. We have daughters.
Yes,
No
we
males.
have all girls. But I will say this. I like how we both attack the situations. Whatever the situation may be or whatever the topic is that we discuss with the girls, I like the fact that we both can attack it. Because it's not only that the girls are learning or getting advice from a female's perspective, but they're also getting the male's perspective, which is very good, especially with girls, because if they don't know it and they don't get it from somebody who they should get it from, they go out there and look for it from all the wrong people in all the wrong places. So it's a good thing that they have a father who can tell them the do's and the don'ts and the games and the manipulation that men play. You know, they are being forewarned. They are being prepped ahead of time. You know what I mean? And it's not prepped in a negative way. It's prepped in a way to say, hey, look, I'm a male, I'm your father, and you need to know what we as men do. What
Yes.
the games we play, the
And
lies
that's
we...
what I
so
was telling
that's where
my
he
girls.
steps in at.
Yes.
So
I was telling them
he
what we
opens up
say,
a lot.
what men say, how they say things just to get what they want, then they leave you, how they manipulate to where they want to have a family, then next minute they out there doing something else or cheating. I was letting them know that stuff. I never got fully in depth with it.
We haven't got in depth with a lot of things because
they
of
wasn't
course
young.
they're
They were
still
still
young.
young.
They are still young. So we do everything in increments. As they get older, the more we will open up, the more we will tell. But we have what is it? What do you call it? Lecture time or lesson time? Lesson time.
Oh yeah, like when I'm driving,
just randomly out of nowhere, it's like
the best time to get them, and take note, the best time to get them is when you like driving them to school. They be like, you know, it's quiet, they on their phone, they're thinking they're about to go to class. You'd be like, oh, lesson time. So today we're gonna talk about, and that's the best time to catch them. Or you can catch them like road trips, but you want to do it like in between hours, like when we drive to a long, like a 24-hour road trip we'll take to another state. You want to catch them in between.
And believe it or not, even when we do things like that, and I like it because it catches their attention, and they actually involve themselves. Like it's like, ooh, at first they be like, oh, what now? But then once we get on, once we say, okay, we're gonna talk about X, Y, and Z, they're like, okay, like it catches their attention to the point where they're interested, and I like that. They become very interested, and they listen. Oh my God, it's like, you know, when you're sitting in the house and you be telling them, okay, you know you're supposed to be cleaning X, Y, and Z, and it goes through one ear and run out the other. Not with these lessons. It's like they open up and they take every little drop, and they interact. They really interact. They start asking questions. They want to know how, when, where. Like they really interact, and I like that. So far with us, and I know you're probably like, well, what do you guys talk about? What have y'all talked about with your kids? So far, on the female perspective, on the female's perspective,
which I
have done. I have done the lady talk. It started out actually.
Lady talk.
Oh my God! It started out actually with our 18-year-old was the first one that I actually spoke with, and I think at the time she was, I want to say she was about 8. She had to be between 8 or 12. It was 8. She was 8. And I pulled her in a room and I asked her, I said, you know, do you guys, have you started your menstrual yet? And I asked this because, one, remember guys, she's not with us. Our 18-year-old is not with us. So when I get the opportunity to speak or see her, these are the things that come to mind. These are the things that, as a mother, you want to, you know, talk to your child about. You want to get to know and want to see what they know and take your place as a mom and educate them. So she was about 8 years old, and honestly that was actually the last time we actually got to see her. But we sat down in the room, we had a talk, and I said, have you started your menstrual? Do you know what a menstrual is? Are you taking sex educational class or health class in school? You know, those were the questions that I brought to her. And everything was no and yes. So she hadn't started her menstrual. She was taking the sex educational class or health class, as they called it. And they were teaching her, you know, about the boys and the girl, the reproductive system. You know, the minor stuff that they teach you in school. They don't never go into depth and things like that, but you know that stuff. So I said, okay. Well, what do you know when it comes to your menstrual? How do you know when it's your time? How do you know how to take care of yourself and tend to yourself when you start your menstrual? And I remember her saying, well, my mommy spoke to me about some things, but not everything. I said, okay, so what did mommy tell you? And she said, I think she said it was something about the tampon, and that it's not for her to worry about right now because it's not something that she's supposed to use. I said, okay, that's correct. That is right. I said, but even though it's not time for you to use and it's not for you to use, I think you should still know about tampons, because at the end of the day, when you get older, what?
I don't know if you all will notice, but you're lagging.
Oh, well, I don't know. It doesn't.
No, you're lagging, but I'm not lagging.
Okay, I guess he's high. But anyway.
No, I'm like.
Well, it doesn't lag when we're done, so it doesn't matter.
No, but when you're talking is like behind, but when I'm doing like this, I'm there.
Okay, so basically, guys, I'm in a whole nother galaxy, and he's not. Anyway, let me get back to my session here, sir. You're so rude. Anyway, so I don't.
No, they were talking about that on like paranormal cameras caught ghosts, and there was like a bird that just stopped in time.
I'm not here.
What do you mean you're not here?
I'm not here. I'm a figment of your imagination. I'm off into another galaxy. Don't slap me.
You there then if I hit you.
Lord. Okay, anyway. So I told her that I think it's still good to educate her about tampons. As a female, I think it's only right that we as females should know everything as much as we can possibly remember and or know about, to teach our children about female products. I don't think any child or female should be shortchanged of female products. I'm sorry. Whether they are appropriate for them to use or not, I think it's right that a child should know everything. Mm-hmm. So we had a little session. We had a little teaching session. I brought out the tampons. I brought out the different type of pads, because I'm a female. There's nothing but females in my house. I was getting my girls ready because I knew the time was coming soon. So I always keep a variety of things. And then not only that, we have guests, my family members and things come over. So I always made sure that I had a variety of things for other people too, because you never know. So I had the variety of, why should you? You don't use them. Anyway, so, I would have, the different varieties, and I showed her, the difference of the pads with wings, without wings, the different sizes, and the tampons, regular, super, extra super, however you want to call it. I showed her all of that stuff. And then I asked her, do you know how to put on a pad? Do you know how to use a pad correctly? Do you know how to dispose of a pad correctly? Because that right there is a very, 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 very big thing. There is a lot of females, and not just children, not just preteens, but adults, grown women who do not know how to dispose of a tampon and or pad. And that is serious. That tells me that, one, you never had the opportunity to be taught. And that's bad, because I think every female should be taught. Period. And I'm not saying...
And males too.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get on that too.
And males too.
I believe that men should be taught too, because at the end of the day, when your son grows up, or not even, when your son is in middle school and high school, and God forbid your daughter or his girlfriend is walking down the hall and all of a sudden, boom, accident happened, she got her menstrual. As a male, he should be there to help her and protect her, not make fun of her and say, ew, that's nasty, and carrying on with everybody else.
I know, right?
I think, honestly, if we had a son, I would teach my son these things, because I want him to be a gentleman and take care of that female. Whether it don't even have to be his girlfriend, his sister. It could be just a mere classmate or somebody in the school. And if you see that this girl is having trouble or she don't have these things, as a male, you should be able to say, you know what? Don't worry about it. I got you. I got a little stash on the side or whatever. My mom
I know
taught
some
me.
people are probably watching like they disagree with that.
That's,
no man
that's
should be
gay
doing that
or
'cause that's
something.
gay.
That is not gay. I think it's smart. I think, listen, your son is going to grow up one day to be a man. And guess what? When that man grows up, he's going to need to know these things, because if his wife is sitting on the toilet or happen to be dripping across the floor trying to get to the bathroom because she had an accident, what he going to sit there and do?
You remember when I used to go to the store for you for that?
Yeah, and things like that, you know.
I used to go to the supermarket
What if
buying
his
the-
girlfriend can't go outside? Yeah, he's done many trips for me. Not only that, what about the time frame when you have that baby? He's gonna have to be there. If you done had a C-section or whatever it may be, and you hurting, like, and y'all know how it is after you have a baby. It hurts. All of that down there hurts. The stomach and everything. It hurts. Stomach on down. It hurts.
And the piss pot.
So
I remember that too. We had the piss pot.
So why not educate your son on these things? Why should he have to wait until he a grown man or a sexually active teenager or whatever you want to call it to learn these things blindsided? I think that he should know beforehand. Teach him these things. It's only right, because as a man, one day he's going to have to tend to his female, and he needs to know these things. And not only that, you're sexually involved. Why would you not want to know what comes with the package of being involved with the vagina as a male? Why would you not? Why would you not want to teach your child that? I'm sorry. So yes, as a mother, whether I have a son, yes, I can have. I guess I can. As a mother, as a mother, I would teach my son. I would teach my son. To each his own. For those who don't, but just think about that for a minute. Just sit back and really think about that for a minute. It's not an embarrassing thing. It's not something to be ashamed of. And that's another thing. A lot of people make menstruals something to be ashamed of. It's embarrassment. It's
they do.
Yeah, you believe it or not, you have these young girls that be scared to go to school when they're on their menstrual. Seriously. They will stay home, and their parents allow it. And I can understand some females bleed heavy. So yes, if my child bleeds heavy and it's like too much, yeah, I'm gonna keep you home. But you have females who just completely stay home from school because they don't feel comfortable. They're not confident. They're embarrassed. They feel ashamed. They think that it's nasty, and I feel nasty and it's disgusting. No child should have to feel, no female should have to feel like that. And if you as a role model are not ensuring them and encourage them that, hey, this is life, is nothing to be ashamed of, this is what it is. You have to have confidence in yourself as a female. You have to be comfortable with your body. Then that's a problem. Because if you're not giving them that, they're going to continue to grow up like that. And every day of their life, they're going to be ashamed, uncomfortable, not feeling right.
Okay.
So yeah, have that talk. So yeah, me and my daughter, we had that talk. She was 8 years old. Like I said, I taught her everything. I showed her the proper way to, and this is what I did. And she was kind of like, huh? Why would you do that? So I had nail polish. I'm not a nail polish person. I don't really care for nail polish and nails and things like that. So I took some nail polish and I used the nail polish and used it as an example of blood. And I poured it on the pad, and I was like, this is what it would look like. It soaks in, ... And then I showed her how to place it on, how to take it off, and how to properly.
How come I'm not?
Actually, you was in the room at the time, and when I told you that I was about to have this talk with her, you said, "Oh, I gotta go. This is not for me." Yeah, you did. So he left to give us our time, and I took over and I did what I had to do. So I showed her how to properly, disperse it and everything. And then fast forward, I end up having to talk with my girls about 8. RJ was about 6. So yeah, about 4 years later, I end up having the next talk with our next oldest, which is now 14, because at that point she was now 8, 10 years old. So, and honestly, I didn't do one by one with them. I took our 14-year-old and the twins, and I sat them all down, and we had a full discussion. I went through the whole walkthrough, just like I did with the 18-year-old, and I also told them that your private part, I call it a butterfly. Your butterfly is very delicate, and you have to take very care of it. If you do not take care of it, it will show its true colors, and you're not gonna like it.
Wait, you call it a butterfly?
Yes, that's what I talk to when I talk to the girls. Yes, I call it a butterfly. Anyway, so his term of calling it, we call it a tutti. All that's what is known in the house, a tutti. But I call it a butterfly on my own terms when I want to. So anyway,
because it gets
okay. Well, anyway, that's okay.
Two
We're not
T.
getting into that whatever. Tomato.
Butterfly.
Anyway. So that's what I called it. So I always tell them that if you don't clean it properly, it's going to be, it's basically, it's a permanent open sore. It will never close up. And as long as it's open and you don't keep it clean, all them germs and bacteria will get in there, and that cut will forever hurt. And it's going to have sores and bruises and pus and all of that. Everything that you get from a cut on your leg is going to happen to your butterfly. So if you don't
smell.
Well, exactly. So
like
if
a
you
Red Lobster kitchen.
a Red Lobster kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want that, you have to know to take care of your tutti, your butterfly, your ladybug, whatever you want to call it, whatever you guys consider it, you have to know how to take care of that. So we had all of that talk too. So yeah, guys, that's basically just a quick short. I don't want to go all into detail because I'll go on forever. But yeah, I've had that talk with my girls. And if I had a son, yes, I would talk to my son about it too.
So my turn. So what I used to no. Wait. Okay. So
Relationship things.
Okay. Yeah, I talk to our girls about relationships. What guys do, what they say, how they act, where they go, why they go, all that stuff.
Especially in the mind frame of a teenager.
Yeah. Single parents, I'm not putting you all out there, but the single parents, majority of them are females, they can't have that talk, they can't give that talk to their daughters or sons about, not daughters or sons, they can't have that talk with their daughters about what guys do. They can only go off of their experience with relationships.
What they dealt with.
They dealt with.
And that's how we did it. When he went into that conversation, I shared my input as a female's perspective, and then he gave his input from a male's perspective. And so it kind of works both ways.
As from a male point of view, I can go more in depth of what they think and how they think, and why they lie. And that's the stuff that I was talking to them about about what guys do and stuff like that. Sorry if you see me keep moving. My leg is like sleeping and stuff. But anyway,
poor circulation. Get old, y'all. Get old.
Yeah. Look at me.
Come on.
Be lagging. Okay. Anyway, so basically, I just like tell them, like, you can't trust a guy from off the jump. You can't trust. No, especially the guys that you go during school. You're gonna come across a lot of wannabe thugs, and girls today and back then, they like that. I don't know what it is that. I don't know why females like that bad boy type instead of the one that's the nerd that's in the corner, the one that's gonna make it in life. I talk to them about that. Like, you gotta pick and choose the right guy and know where he's going. You gotta learn to read the guy. If you're gonna mess with that guy, that jock football player, or that guy that cuts school all the time, you're gonna end up most likely doing the same thing, or you're gonna be if you get pregnant, mistakenly get pregnant by them, you're gonna end up being a single parent most of the time. 97% of the time, you're gonna be a single parent. I,
And with that being said, not to cut you off, that can help it. That can also happen with the nerd dude. That straight and narrow dude
that's
too.
true. That is true.
But-
that is true. But
he mainly was focusing on what we see on a regular.
yeah,
I mean, today that's just what it is.
I talked to him about why guys cheat. You know, why guys lie, why guys happen to always, why they always want to hang out with their friends. Me personally, I was never that type of person, never that type of guy to always hang out with the guys. I did it once in a while, but it wasn't on a regular. I can honestly say I wasn't that guy that was in the street or whatever. But I also had that talk with our children. I had to talk about sneaking out. Basically, I said if they do it, then they can't come back. I'm only playing.
No, because listen, it's funny because just last week, our 14-year-old asked, "Hey, can we sneak out?" And I said, "What? What do you want to sneak out for?" She was like, "I don't know. You know, the what did she say? The teenage life." I said, "Okay, you can sneak out, but if you sneak out, you can't come back in." She was like, "Well, what's the purpose of sneaking out?" Exactly. If you go out, you stay out.
Yep.
So she said, "Well, I'm just going to tell Mama." I said, "Okay, and I'm going to tell Mama to let you know that you can't come back in." She said, "Well, all I got to do is just unlock the door." I said, "You unlock my door, I'm calling the cops." She was like, "But Mom." I said, "No, you want to sneak out? Sneak out. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Go right on ahead." But I get where she was coming from.
You do?
Yeah, because it's like nowadays these kids can't be teens. Just think about that. Like when we was kids and we was teenagers, we did things like that. We can talk about that.
Yeah, well,
You know
I
what
was
I
jumping
mean?
out windows.
We can tell stories about that. Today, our kids can't even say, "Oh, I rode the bike when I was a kid up and down my block or around my town." They can't do that. Why? Because our kids are being snatched up left and right. We have to literally sit outside with our kids just to ride their bike and play. Yeah. So I understood where she was coming from when she was like, "Well, can I sneak out?" And I'm like, no. And honestly, if she did sneak out, I wouldn't be mad because I was a teenager once before. Like I told her when she asked me, "Mommy, did you sneak out?" Yes, I did. I will not lie to my kids. Outside, on the block, down the street, wherever I went, wherever I wandered. I was with my cousins or my sisters or my family or friends usually. But I'm just, what do you care? You wasn't even existing. Who cares?
Still.
Anyway, so with that being said, I actually understand where my daughter's coming from. So I wouldn't be mad if she did. And they don't have a childhood. Like they have a childhood, but they don't have the childhood we had, and it bothers me.
Yeah, mine was.
It bothers me.
Mine was fantastic, boy. I remember one time my brother's home. Your brother's home, boy. I jumped out the window, booty naked.
You stupid.
I threw the clothes out first.
Anyway.
I threw my Timbs out.
But yeah. The kids nowadays don't have a childhood, and now
I fell in the bush naked.
They can't even have a childhood in school because they're not even in school now. So it's like they really have been stripped of their adolescent life.
Oh man,
really, he's such an idiot.
Yeah, but I fell in the bush naked. I was in the bush and I was curled up like. It was cold.
I can see that.
It was so cold.
I can see.
Oh my god, and it was dark. Yo, that backyard was creepy.
Crazy. Anyway,
they have raccoons at the time.
So yeah, we have these conversations with our kids.
Oh shoot!
When it comes to relationships, boys, girls, everything that we've experienced as adolescents, as teenagers, as young adults, we kind of try to remember, go back, and then fill it in with our kids, and we do it from a male's perspective and a female's perspective. And we just give advice and just let them know, like, listen, these are consequences that you have to face. If you go out there wanting to be fast and want to do this and do that, the consequences that you have to face, you're on your own. And we tell our kids all the time, if you go out there doing something reckless and you want to sit there and trust your friends and believe your friends and follow your friends, when the consequences hit you in your ass, you going to suffer them consequences. Don't look for me and daddy to come and bail you out, because we're not going to do it. You have to learn that way. That's how you're going to learn. If you continue to bail your children out and handicap them, they will forever keep doing the bull crap that they do.
Yes.
Because they're going to always look for mommy and daddy is always going to save me. No, man, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. You're on your own. You have to learn. It's going to hurt. We're going to be mad. It's going to hurt, but it's for your best benefit. You have to learn. So those are the things that we kind of, we try to teach them. Like the game Life. We still haven't sat down and discussed that with you guys, but the game Life that we implemented for them was a reason to show them the consequences of, if you don't work like you're supposed to earn your money and use your money wisely like you're supposed to, these are the consequences that you end up facing. You end up being evicted. You end up getting your lights cut off. You end up not having water. You end up not having food to eat. Just number of things. And then think about having a child at the same time with these things. You think it's going to be even easier? So, we put that out there to them too.
I got a question for you guys, and also for you to see if you can answer it.
I
So,
can answer it. Who do you
what
think I am?
age do you think is the right age to have that talk with your son or daughter, or sons or daughters?
About sex?
Sex.
Just
yes.
overall, just everything, or
No,
just...
about sex.
Okay, well, I can answer that because
Wait, but you all make sure you answer that. Leave a comment down below.
please, guys, please.
Okay.
So, to be honest, growing up, you was always told, what is it? Don't worry about sex, and sex is not important for you, and you're still young. Wait until you're married. That's straight and narrow. That's it. That's all you was told. Nothing more. So there was never
young teen parents today.
Yeah, and no, because some things is related to being molested, raped, bounced around. It's a number of things that can lead to that.
Disagree.
But anyway,
yeah.
I honestly, I think the same time frame that I decided to sit and talk about menstrual is the same time frame that I would implement having the sex talk.
So that
and
was
the only reason
8
why
years old.
And the only reason why I say that is because during puberty, your body is changing drastically. Not only is your body changing drastically, your hormones is changing drastically. And nowadays, today, because of all the stuff that we are putting in our body and on our skin, these children are developing way earlier than we did. These kids are having menstruals at 5, 7, 6 years old and above. Like, it's crazy.
We just had quarter waters and honey buns then.
Yeah, like, so honestly, I think the sooner you have that talk with them and prep them and let them put it in their mind and get them comfortable and understanding the things, the better. The better. If you're going to sit down and have that menstrual talk, and I'm not saying go in depth. You don't have to go in depth with the whole sex talk, but definitely don't sit there and say, you're too young, wait till you get married. The same things that was told to us when we was growing up. Don't do that. Sit there and really take the time out and have that talk with them, because it is very vital to have that talk with these kids. I'm sorry. And don't shortchange them. Don't lie to them. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't make it feel like I'm just going to tell you this because I just want to tell you this and you can just leave me alone. Don't push these kids off with that, because when you push them off, they're going to go searching and searching and searching and searching. And when they search, they're going to find the wrong things, follow the wrong. For example, you got these kids searching porn. I'm not a porn fanatic. I'm sorry. I'm not into porn. I don't care. It doesn't do nothing for me. I'm a physical person. So I feel like when a child starts, okay, so basically our child has done that. Our children have done that. He is such a clown. And I think he was the one that found out before I did. And I was like, what? When was this? How was this? And again, You got to remember, your kids are around other kids in different environments. So you don't know what these other kids are being...
It was a dark day.
You don't know what these other kids are being introduced to, what these other kids are exposed to, what they're seeing, what they're hearing, what they... You know, you don't know that. So your kids are picking these things up. So when we found out that our kids was searching porn, hey, we're going to sit down and have this talk, because porn is not the right message. I don't care what nobody says. For a child, for an adult, I guess I just think too far into it. I feel like porn does not tell the truth of how sex should be received and or given. You don't just go out there and just have sex with anybody and everybody because you're so high driven and your sex drive is shooting out the roof. And that's kind of what I feel like porn promotes. It promotes high promiscuity, right? Is that the word? Whatever. I'm tongue. You know what I meant. You know what I'm saying. But I think it promotes that. And when that's promoted, and you're not sitting down and telling your children the right way and having that discussion with them, what they gonna follow? They gonna follow that porn, because that's what porn showed me. That's what porn told me.
Or their fast ass friend.
Exactly. The peer pressure. They gonna follow that.
They gonna follow that friend.
My friend said this. And you know, it's crazy because, again, we had this talk. I had this talk with one of our girls, and she came to me and she said, "Mommy, I want to have a talk." And I said, "Okay, what's up?" Now, when she had this talk, sex. When she had, and I told you about this.
Oh yeah.
And when she came in, I didn't know what it was, but I knew something wasn't right because I can tell by the tone of my child's voice. So I was like, "What's wrong, baby? What do you want to talk about?" She was like, "I think I'm ready." And I said,
"Oh yeah,
what?
I remember that."
I said, ready for what? Ready, where we going? So she said, "No, Mommy, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to have sex." And I said, "Have a seat." We're gonna sit down and have this little talk, honey. I wish I could see this fool over here. Praise dancing. But I said, "Sit down, let's have this talk." So she sat down and this is what I said to her. "What makes you feel you are ready? Give me everything that you can think of that tells you that you're ready, so I can have a talk with you to tell you why I think you're not ready." And she said the basic, "Because I'm a teenager and I think I'm ready and I kind of know what it is and everybody else does it." Woo, there you go. I didn't stop her. I didn't cut her off. And that's another thing, people. Give your children the time to get it all out. Don't cut them off. Don't cut them short. Because if you cut them short, it makes them feel like you ain't trying to hear them.
And they will never come back
and
to
they will
talk
never
to
come.
again.
That's right. So let them say whatever they need to say, and then you address it. So I did. I let her say everything she said, and I said, "Let me tell you something, baby girl. You are not ready." And I'm not saying this to be mean or nasty or to make you feel any type of way or hurt your feelings. I'm telling you this because I'm your mother, and I know for a fact you're not ready.
And when this was said in the life game, that made me implement
the baby.
I went out and bought baby dolls that they had to take care of. I said care of.
Yeah, care of.
Oh, shoot.
Yes.
They had to take care of 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Since
along
she's
with
ready.
the whole chores and making your money to survive and live.
We'll talk about that someday.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. But yeah, so I went down the line and I just told her, like, "Baby, you're not ready. You don't even know who you are yet. You still trying to develop who you are." I said, "You right. You probably hormones is skyrocketing, and you done seen this boy that he's cute, and you saw that boy and his body's nice, or that you probably done seen it all. I got it. I understand. Been there, done that." I said, "But baby, you're not ready." And I went into depth about it. I'm not gonna go into depth here because it'll take me forever. But I went into depth with her, and let's just say at the end of the conversation, my baby changed her whole mind. changed her whole mind. Everything went out the window like, you know what, mommy, you sure right. I'm not ready. She said, I'm not ready, mommy. I'm not. I thought I was, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, sometimes you just have to sit back and think. Not only do you need to think, you need to know every aspect. Don't just go on one direction. Get every aspect, because every aspect could be something different. You know what I mean? So when I told her that, it was just like, okay, you so right, mommy, you so right. And she hugged me and she was like, I'm glad I had this talk with you. I feel so much better, and you made me see things a whole lot better. I said, that's what I'm here for. So that was another talk. What else did we have talks about? Oh, teaching them how to fix cars. We do that. We get them down and dirty. I mean, literally under the hood, underneath the car.
But that's more of like teaching.
I mean, but that's lifestyle, period. That's still something to implement. If you have a skill, parents, teach your kids too. Show them. When you going in the store, when y'all go grocery shopping and stuff, and you're using a checkbook or a credit card, hey, your son or daughter, hey, come here, let me show you something real quick. Take that time out and do them steps with them. Show them and explain to them how it works and what are the consequences when you don't, when something goes declined or negative or whatever it may be, or a check bounce. Explain that stuff to them. It pays off. What else? Installing security systems, cooking.
We
Cleaning.
talked about weapons before.
Weapons. I mean, just everything, guys. Just everything.
How to manage money in the bank.
Right, manage money.
They got their own bank accounts.
Right.
And stuff like that.
And they're responsible for their own cards.
Yes.
So just everything, guys. Just take that time out and have that talk. If you're afraid to have that talk, find somebody who you trust in your family or a friend who knows how to or is comfortable to have that talk with your children. But don't not have the talk with your kids. Don't leave your children
stranded?
Yeah, don't leave them stranded on educational things like this, especially with the sex and menstrual and knowing how to take care of their bodies, male or female. Properly teach them. Don't leave it up to the schools, because first of all, the schools nowadays is not even teaching health education no more, and even what they was teaching was crap, honestly. So just really get out there and teach them, and try to build up that confidence and that courage in yourself as an adult to do it, not only for yourself but for your kids. Be comfortable with yourself so you can be able to have that talk with your kids. So yeah, guys, just comment below, give us some pointers, things that you may have discussed, or what we could add on to what we teach our kids and discuss with our kids, and vice versa. We'll do the same. Questions, shoot them to us.
Yeah, we're trying to build a page, a channel. We're doing stuff that a lot of couples wouldn't do, given our lifestyle and some experiences and stuff that couples won't even share with nobody, not even their friends or family members. So,
because they're embarrassed or ashamed or
yeah.
scared. Look, guys, in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I was embarrassed and ashamed and scared and kept everything to myself just as well as he did. But we got to the point where we grew up, after having that tell-all, and not even, because it started before that too. We got to the point where it was like, you know what, we need to communicate more. It's time for us to really communicate more and express things amongst each other. And once we got past that phase, it was like, you know what, we need to share our story. Like, we got a lot to tell. And there's a lot of people who out there who are afraid because they don't have somebody to open up to them to give them that reassurance that you can do it too. So that's basically what we're here for. It's just more like, if we can do it, you can do it. You may not have to go public like we chose to, but it helpfully, it gives you that step to say, you know what, I have confidence. I'm not ashamed of what I went through with my husband or my wife or my boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. I want to talk about this. But again, guys, yeah, definitely share what you feel. Definitely, please, guys, please have these talks with your kids. I beg you guys, just have a talk. Just have it. These kids are.
There's too much kids on drugs or getting or having
Gang
babies
bangs and-
early, or being in gangs, or kids wanting to run away, or kids not
seeking attention and love from all the wrong places.
yes,
and not being aware of what's wrong and what's right. So they're just allowing themselves to be touched and things like that. And not saying that they don't know what's right or wrong, but they believe that, oh, this is Uncle such and such and he said it's okay, and they're being molested. And kids are just don't keep your kids blind. That's all. Just don't keep your kids blind. If you know it, share it.
So
Share
on
it.
that note, again, we are not counselors. We are not
Professional.
professional. We don't have no certifications. We're just talking off of life experience, what we went through and what we see and what we're still going through. So
And what we would like to change in ourselves and in our kids, as much as we possibly can. We ain't perfect, but we try to do the best that we can.
on that note, you all have a good night, good morning,
Afternoon,
or whatever it is.
whatever time of frame it is, and your world, what your side of the world.
Yes. So, what is it? You gotta come up with something.
I don't know.
Let's
We
see.
do need to come up with an ending, right? We just be like, all right, guys, see you later. Deuces.